now you've been running quite a bit for quite a while, and your training's different. But first thing, were you at all afraid of losing muscle as you started developing more as a runner? Because that's what most people are, scared of. They see Mark running, they see a bunch of people running, and a lot of creators are even making videos of why you shouldn't run. So first off, why'd you do it? And are you noticing change?
Why did I run?
Yeah, why'd you start?
So I mean, your background, my background, play soccer. I mean, it's, was in the military, ran, got out of the military. I'm like, nope, not doing that anymore. Bodybuilding. So 2 years ago, I started developing, again, the reason why I worked with Dr. Aaron, lower back and like my left knee was like, bothering me. Like, I look forward to like a torture of a leg session. Like I need that then.
Yeah.
And not being able to train as hard as upper body's fun, but no, legs. Like not being able to do that. So pretty much knee extension, no issue. Knee flexion bothers me. So running was like the only hard thing that I can do in my training that kind of not mimics leg training, but just give me that the suck or like doing something really, really pause. I was about to do something really hard. I was to segue with that. I'm like, don't clip that. But I mean, so I started, running a mile, 2 miles. I'm like, okay, like it wasn't too bad. I mean, the first mile, the worst pain ever. I'm like, oh my God, never gonna do this again.
Yeah.
11-minute miles, some shit like that. I mean, it was like great. But again, I need to find something that resembles that. And the more I do it, the more it's like, okay, it was difficult. It was never easy. Till this day, it's still not easy running.
Yeah.
But got into it, started picking up, and my wife, she's again, if you put my wife and I close together, I'm like, yep, that's a runner. He's not a runner. What is he doing here?
Yeah.
The gym is that way.
Yeah.
That's what I would get. And it's something that we've always wanted to do, like just run together. And so we just pretty much trained together for like a half marathon. And that gave me like, something I want to do with my wife. If at the time it was just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to do this training. I mean, if that's that and that's that and just, get back to strength training. But the more I do it, I'm like, I kind of like this. Like, what's that feeling? Ooh, like, what's that challenge? So it became more of a, I'm a newbie at it as something again. Strength training, it was just like, I mean, I can do this with my eyes closed. I coach people. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Outside of like, kind of just, you don't have to force me to get out the gym pretty much. But I still stare at my shoes like till like 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, oh, do we want to do this? The first time I'm like, we should cap it.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, after you finish, the feeling of that is great. So that's why got started into running, and it almost became a routine. Like I had know the difference when I run during the day that I run and the days that I don't, in terms of mentally, how it makes me feel. Progressing into that and segue into worrying about losing my strength or losing size, because being a coach helps. Because again, you have to, specificity when you're training matters. And the specificity at the time was not running focus. I was trying to blend that, and I understood there's a possibility I'm going to lose some strength or I'm going to lose some size. And that's something I was completely okay with, just because I was getting this newbie feeling, new high feeling of that. But again, I didn't want to just like, I've worked so hard for this muscle group. I'm just going to peace out and just not care about that anymore.
Yeah.
Protein is still up there. Managing recovery when I run, like higher calorie day when I have my big runs, not really caring about calories at all. I need to eat a ton of food.
Yes.
Recovery, protein never wavers. But my strength training, when it comes to the way I designed it, of course, my maintenance, I went to maintenance volume on leg training. My upper body training, I was still kind of, pushing it relatively hard. Maybe not just like, 2 days out before like a longer run and stuff like that. And, I programmed to where I'm going to scale back a little bit just to make sure, or movements that's not going to be causing a lot of systemic fatigue.
Yeah.
That's going to prevent me from being able to perform, my big runs. So I was never worried about losing gains, just because
you know how to manipulate the variables.
To get what I want from it. Of course, I'm not, and I know if I go into it like, okay, I'm gonna eat a ton, I'm just gonna train hard, like I want to keep my strength gains, I'm just gonna wreck my shit altogether, which puts me out of the game completely. So I have to come to the understanding, okay, how do we want to adjust this to be able to do both?
Yeah.
So no, I mean, again, to your point, I think that's what a lot of people are scared about. Like, you know, I mean, again, running makes you lose all your gains. You can manage that.
Yeah.
You know.
Power Project family, how's it going? Now, we talk all about strength on this channel, but strength starts from the feet. That's why we've partnered with Vivo Barefoot shoes for over a year now. Now, Vivo Barefoot, unlike most shoes, number one, they look great, but number two, they're flexible. They're zero drop, and they have a wide toe box. If you wear these shoes over time, your feet will get stronger. Now, if you guys want to get some of these shoes, head to vivobarefoot.com/powerproject. Use code POWERVIVO20 at checkout to save 20% off your entire order. Enjoy this clip.
Over time, doing more running, has anything changed? Has the way you walk changed? Has your gait changed? Has like the way you handle your feet? Because you mentioned sometimes on runs when you run into a problem, you're like, okay, let's focus on the big toe or something like that. So what have you found is like changing as far as your perception of your own body?
So running has shifted again. I mean, the way I train too. It's almost like, why are you running, trying to figure this out? Obviously, you start to get into like this wormhole of trying to figure out, okay, this is what I'm hyped about right now. I need to figure out how can I be efficient? How can I be better? Is my form better? The same way you probably strength train, like, okay, instead of just adding more volume, how can I execute this movement better to get as much stimulus as possible from this particular movement, but instead of just like adding more, volume. But running, again, because it feels like a totally different space, feels like total different movement. For me to run better or run efficiently, I need to be aware of these things. I've never really used to pay attention to how my toes or, how I need to spread my toe. Like, the big toe is like a big, massive, thing that contributes to how you move. Paying attention to those things or kind of trying to be aware of it. If I wasn't running, you feel grounded, tripod stand when you squat and things like that, but that's about it. But like repetitive movement, and trying to be as efficient as possible, okay? Again, having ITB, I had ITB issues, okay? I never knew how much I needed glute med work, like single leg movement, or trying to record myself just doing, single leg movement or external rotation, or feeling my hips dipping on one side. If my hips are dipping on one side by just walking or just performing like a stationary movement, imagine what that impact would be from just running alone, which again could lead to a lot of injuries. So the cool thing about running really is just like, presenting a lot of flaws in the way I move, period.
Ooh,
right.
Yeah.
Again, that you wouldn't even notice. And I compare it to like a gearbox, right? A gear that's now properly wedged together. You can probably get some groove over time, but the more pressure, the more repetitive, the more wear and tear, it's eventually gonna break. That's how I consider, okay, yes, I could, function probably, with training, strength training, but the more I run, I'm like, okay, this is not going to last long. So I need to figure out, okay, a big toe, everything starts from the feet up, right? A house with a poor foundation is going to crumble inevitably. And you're going to pay a lot of more money down the line to trying to fix that foundation problem if you didn't spend enough time or enough money or care in the first place to focus on having like a solid foundation. So a lot of things that I missed when I first started training, now that I'm highlighting, that's definitely paying dividends and allowing me to continue to do the things I still love to do.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, go ahead and comment down below and let us know what you liked about it. All right, share this with a friend. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, we are on Reddit and Discord. All that's down below. All our sponsors and everyone that supports us down below there too, so you can get whatever you like from us. All right, peace.